Now I gotta ride or die.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. One of the questions I get asked all the time is what you should buy as a young driver or what you should buy as your first car. Now today we're going to go down the same route as we've done in previous videos. We're going to have a cap of £3,000, but today we've got a bit more of a criteria because we're looking for a young driver's car. The car has to be up to 1.4 litre in engine size because of course as a young driver insurance is going to be the most expensive thing you're going to encounter. The car has to be relatively safe. Obviously if your mum and dad are concerned about you getting your first car, they will want to get you in something relatively new and safe. We're also going to go down the route of not trying to find anything that is written off or damaged or salvaged, so something we can go and pick up tomorrow if we so wish to insure and drive round. We're also going to cap the mileage at 100,000 miles. Why, you ask? Well, I do feel that there's a lot of concerned parents out there that would like to see their sons and daughters in something safe, reliable, with a good bit of mileage on. So I think £3,000 for a little hot hatch, say, that's safe, up to 1.4 litres, no damage or salvage cars, and under 100,000 miles. If you like this sort of content, please let me know in the comments below, what would you buy for our criteria today? We're interrupting today's video to give a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Emojipic.
Emojipic is the world's first wireless emoji display. Send smileys out to considerate drivers, show your love for your favourite sports team, or just have a laugh playing one of the games. All available through the Emojipic app. Emojipic can be used for drivers just for fun, in taxis, or you can even play Tetris and Snake on the device. You can even take Emojipic out of your car to brighten up your home.
Again, massive thank you to the guys at Emojipic for sending one of their devices down for us to play with today. There's a link in the description to grab your own one with 10% off using the code on screen now. But let's get back to the action. So my first car today is going to be the Seat Ibiza. We're going to put all the criteria in now, try and find a car. So the first car that's come up is this one, a Seat Ibiza Sport Rider with 58,000 miles. Now, just like the other videos, you can obviously get cars less than this. If you do want to go over the mileage or you want a crash damage one, you can find these cars really, really cheap. The funny thing is actually doing a lot of research for this video just to make sure I'm on the right realms of the cars that I think are worth the sort of money. I did notice that there's a lot of written off small cars that are the same sort of money as the ones that aren't written off. So there is obviously a big market for a small car like this. Do your research, make sure you're buying a proper car. But this one, first one I've sort of found, it's a 1.4 litre. Now I don't think you're going to get an FR or any of the sporty models for this sort of money. Now I would like to get a diesel variant of this, so we will have a look in a minute. I do feel like the diesels would probably be your best bet. It might not be on the insurance side, but obviously economy for MPG and all that sort of stuff to run, and maybe tax might be a little bit cheaper. This one combined 47.9 mpg and the 12 months tax on it is £150. So again, that's not too bad. 58,000 miles. No other information. Obviously you do a vehicle check on this if needs be, but as a first little car for someone, that is not a bad shout, I think. It's got airbags in the seats, nice new sort of style inside, so I think that's a good shout. This one is cheaper, just found 10 plate diesel one, Ecomotive. If you can obviously get a lot cheaper insurance on a diesel one, then I would say go for it. Some of the diesels do command more money in taxes and insurance for some reason. Sometimes this one's not a good shout. It's not written off. 2010 plate with 102,000 miles. So it's a little, it's 2,000 miles over what we're really after, but it's £2,000. So you have £1,000 to maybe put towards your insurance if needs be. Again, another 2010 1.4 litre TDI Ecomotive version, 59 plate. 4 doors. If you want 4 doors, you can go 2 door, 4 door. There's not too much difference in price in these two. £1,490. This one is on 96,000 miles, so again just at our criteria level. 1.4 litre TDI, hatchback, manual, full service history, MOT due at the end of 2021-ish. Not too bad, air conditioning, climate control. I think that's a really good little car for the money. To be honest, they're basically VWs underneath, so it shouldn't really go that wrong either. Yes, it has the Seat flair, don't get me wrong. That's a good little car for the money, I think. Now, my number 2 is going to be the Vauxhall Corsa. Now, I know there is some stigma that goes with this car, but you can get a pretty new one for under our budget and under our mileage and under other bits of criteria like being crash damaged and stuff. So the first one that's come up is a 2014 Vauxhall Corsa 1.2 SXI. Yes, I know there's a lot of older people out there and maybe some younger people out there that would give this car a really bad rap for what it is and all this sort of stuff, but I think for a 2014 car that's got, you know, what are we on, 94,000 miles, it's not written off. I don't think that's that bad of a shout, if I'm quite honest. For the sake of £2,000 for a 2014 model car that's going to be, you know, relatively reliable. I think, you know, I don't hear massive problems with these cars except for the VXRs, you know, losing piston 4 and all that sort of stuff, which is again out of our budget. We're looking at 1.4 cars today. I don't think that's that bad for what it is. Personally, I had a Vauxhall Corsa for my first car, a Corsa C. I absolutely loved it, and to this day, I would happily buy that car back and drive it around. I think it was the coolest thing. But yeah, it's amazing what you can find for your money. So again, this is, you know, £1,000 cheaper than we actually have to spend on this car, and it has one former keeper. Now here we have a 61 plate, so a 2011 Vauxhall Corsa 1.3 CDTI EcoFlex SXI, longest name other than obviously the like GT, AMG, whatever it is, 4-door thing. So not a bad shout, black, 4-door. It looks pretty presentable, nice interior, reliable as they can be. Car, 92,000 miles, £2,475 for this one. And again, I do feel if you can, as a young driver, go into a diesel variant of a car, not only could you remap this and get more power out of it, it's going to do really good MPG, and it even might be cheaper for you to tax. Insurance-wise, it really is again down to where you are, where you're from, how many points you've got already, whatever's going on in your driving career. That will do what? You know, leave a comment below, 50, 60 MPG easily. It won't really go wrong. It's got stop start, AC, and lastly I found this one, which is a 2011 1.2i 16 valve SXI. Now when I started driving, I wanted the SXI so bad. They did a twin port 1.4 in the Corsa C. At the time I couldn't afford it, so I didn't buy one. The insurance was a little bit more, but I did learn to drive in a 1.4 twin port. Really enjoyed my driving experience, and the first sort of car I ever drove on the road to be that car. Going forwards, obviously this would probably be the one I would go for if I was looking, you know, I was 17, 18 years old and I was trying to find something that's, you know, relatively good on fuel, is new, easy to modify, you know, all of the things that you want when you're a younger driver. I would say I would probably try and go for a 1.2 or 1.4 SXI petrol in this variant. Not too sure, I've never had any, you know, dabblings in the diesel variants of these Vauxhall models, but for me, that would be the one I would personally go for if I was, of course, buying a young driver's car and I wanted a Corsa again. Now my number 3 is going to be the fan favourite, especially on this channel and of many young drivers out there. It is going to be the Ford Fiesta. Now this shape, the Mark 7, came out in what, 2008, 2009, so you can get a 10-year-old version of this car if you so wish to. Now what I would actually like to do at this point is find an EcoBoost for under £3,000. I don't think it's going to happen, but we will find out if we can find an EcoBoost 1 litre turbo for this money. That would probably be your best bet. So first off, I found this, putting all our criteria in. Again, free road tax, 12 months MOT, 2013, style 1.6 TDCi. So this is the diesel version, £2,895 with 90,000 miles on the clock. CD player, car drives well, 70 MPG and free road tax. That is a shout. That is a fantastic shout. Alloy wheels and everything. Now the colour, not too much fan of the colour if I'm quite honest, but this is probably the best version of this car I seem to have found. The pictures are a bit terrible, if I'm honest, but I do like the dash and the clocks and everything in these. They look so cool. Again, we are going to try and find two-door variants of all these cars, but that's the first sort of one that's come up. Now we found a cheaper variant of the car that I've just seen, so a 2009 1.6 TDCi Titanium, 20 quid a year road tax, so again, incredibly cheap to tax, 20 quid, £1,995, 97,000 miles on the clock. Doesn't look like it's been written off at all. And yeah, that is, again, I think that's a fantastic car for the money. 09 plate, titanium edition, so the interior is a little bit nicer than, say, others. Rear tinted windows, four-door, retails at £2,725 apparently on Auto Trader, so that's always good information for someone to put into the eBay ad there. So again, that is not a bad car. If you can insure that cheaply, that will do, again, 70 mpg. It's got MOT till July, 20 quid a year road tax. And you can easily modify this thing. There's so many parts out there for pretty much all of these cars that I'm talking about today. You know, second-hand parts that can get these cars modified, low wheels, very, very easily if you so wish to. So yeah, the cheapest EcoBoost I can find for sale while I'm actually making this video is this one, 2014 Ford Fiesta 1 litre EcoBoost Zetec S. It does home deliver to your door, look at that. Now it's already got some modifications on it, which again, if you wanted to go and have a look at this car, make sure modified bits are nicely done. Obviously there's a lot of chopped and damaged and abused cars out there. Just make sure it's a nice version of itself more than anything. This one, OZ wheels, it is over our budget though. It's got bonnet vents, it's got, you know, nice little bits and bobs on it. £3,489. Now, of course, this is over our criteria today, 94,000 miles, and it's not written off at all or anything like that. But if you can stretch to this, this is the best bang for your buck in all of these cars, I think. This will give you power, it will give you an economical car, it will give you a sense of reliability. I think they are very reliable for what they are, and I do feel that the modified car scene, yes, it's flooded with these cars. I, you know, do see them a lot. I can see why. For £3.5 grand, if I was a young driver and I wanted a new car or my first car and I could insure one of these, I would be more than happy in it. I tell you, I would be so happy to drive that. Now, my number 4 today is going to be the VW Polo. This would probably be the car that I would try and buy now if I knew what I knew now about cars and how they drive and stuff. I think VW do a fantastic job of actually making a really good all-rounder. So putting our criteria in, we've found first off this black great first car, even says it in the title, 1.4 64 PS. That's about 60 brake horsepower-ish, 2006. Now, I do feel like you can buy these incredibly cheap if you so wish to. This shape of Polo is very easy to get hold of, very cheap. £2.5 grand, 2006 with 50,000 miles on it. Now, if you were really mileage dependent, I think, you know, 50,000 miles on a Polo is not that bad whatsoever. But I think for £3 grand, you could probably find a newer shape Polo with a little bit more mileage on it, which would be, you know, again, a little bit more safer, a little bit more newer. So yeah, here we go, just under our criteria basically. So black, 92,000 miles Polo, 1.2 S 3-door manual, £2,990 on the 59 plate. Now that, to me, is a fantastic car for the money. I don't feel like it will go wrong. Of course, you are actually talking to someone that loves VWs and Audis and stuff, and the German stuff anyway, so this would be my pick. If you had your sensible head on, if you didn't want, you know, something fast like an EcoBoost or something to modify crazy, just lowering this on a set of wheels would be absolutely perfect. So here we go, found another 1.2 60 PS this time, 2010 for £2,995. This is a 4-door model, again, very clean, except for, I'd probably put a cap on it if I was trying to sell it for £3 grand. But again, the pictures aren't that good either. Obviously, if we put in you know, ads versus ads, I'd probably go for the 2-door one if I could. There's not a lot of information on it either. Yeah, that's a shame, because this car is 79,000 miles. That's a good bit of mileage on it. 2010 1.2 litre. That's probably a really, really good car, but there's no information whatsoever actually about this car. And again, like for a buyer, I look at all the pictures and go, oh, it's got a wheel cap missing. Oh, what else is wrong with it? You know, you want to make sure you're buying a good version of this car. 3 grand is, again, a lot of money for anybody. I feel like that one is a good shout because of the mileage, but I'd probably go for that black 2-door one we've just looked at. So last but no means least would be my number 5, which is the Renault Clio. Now, there's a lot of these about. You can buy earlier generations of these for pennies at the moment, but I do feel like the newer stuff, like say over 2009 shape, is probably your best bet. There is fantastic technology in these cars. They're very, very good on MPG. They seem to be good on insurance as well. I never hear too many horror stories. And I do feel like, just like all of these cars, there is enough of them out there for sale. The internet is pretty flooded with these cars for you to find a very good one. So we'll jump on. We'll see how new we can get the Clio to start with, and we'll see what model variants we can find. So putting in all our criteria, we found this one. Now, satellite navigation, half leather interior, aircon, alloys, fog lights, HPI Kia, 70,000 miles with a full service history for £2,795. And as a package, a 2012 car, probably the best package we've seen so far with the most amount of stuff on it. The pictures are blurry. Why are they blurry? You're trying to sell a car? Okay, there's a good picture. Okay. I just would have thought those pictures would be probably the best ones. But interesting colour. It's like a browny goldy colour, but as a package, right? So let's look at the package. Sound system, sat nav, half leather. We haven't seen really anything with half leather. 70,000 miles. Fog lights. 1.2 dynamique. TomTom sat nav, 5-door petrol. Media navigation. Yeah, that is remote control. I'm assuming it means steering controls. Okay, so another one here. Renault Clio 1.2 petrol dynamique. Dynamique. We're not French here, but dynamic. 3-door, low mileage, excellent condition. Warranty included, £2,795. Now the 2-door, just as a young driver, I would prefer the 2-door. I'd obviously prefer a black one instead of that gold one we just looked at. Interesting colour choices. But yeah, again, not a bad car for the money. Let's just have a little nose through the ad. 2012, 72,000 miles. TomTom, so it will have the satellite navigation. Of course, it's old satellite navigation, but it's always nice to get it in with the car for the same sort of money as you could pay for one without it. No crazy horror stories from face value of this car. Just looking at it today. So yeah, I think manual, black, 2-door, 1.2 with, you know, various other things on it. That, I think, is a really, really good shout for the money. And again, I do believe these cars, all of these cars that I'm looking at now, are really good on insurance. But again, get out there, get on, you know, insurance comparison sites, put these number plates in and find out if any of them are actually cheap or they're expensive or if they've been crashed or anything like that. That's really down to you as a person more than anything and where you live. But just do your research. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. What would you buy? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you all on the next one.